Whiskey in the glass, golf in the mind. This is Inside the Ropes, a GolfCask original, where we dive in deep into the grain, the smoke, and the stories that bring us together. Welcome to Inside the Ropes, reflections on the month that passed, December 2025. Remember, the quiet wins. December has a way of lowering the volume and raising the truth. By the time the year reaches the final month, the noise has usually worn itself out. What's left are some moments that didn't need attention or matter. The ones that stayed, even when no one was keeping score. This is Inside the Ropes for January 2026. Our monthly reflection of stories that resonated most inside a GolfCask. Not the loudest pieces, not the most shared for the day. The ones readers paused on, returned to, and carried with them. Over the last month, 5 stories rose to the top. One from whiskey, one from cigars, one from golf, one rooted in community, and one personal pick that deserves another look. Taken together, they tell the story of December itself. Patience over performance, presence over polish, and quick wins that matter more than headlines. Let's step into the ropes and look back. Our most read whiskey story last month didn't come from a rare barrel or a tasting room with a dress code. It came from the grocery store checkout line and the realization that sometimes the simplest tools teach us the most. Here's Train Your Palate for $1.29. Chew on this, Wrigley's Gum as Whiskey Training Wheels by Brian Bailey, GolfCast Life Magazine, December edition. Revelry and reflection. There's no shortage of expensive ways to train your palate. Whiskey aroma kits, sensory wheels, guided tasting with a certified steward, all fine. But here's a GolfCast secret that'll save you both money and ego. How about a $1.29 pack of Wrigley's Gum? Yep, you heard me right. Gum. The same packs your grandfather used to keep in his golf bag right next to his flask and divot tool? And the ball he swore he'd find later? That's right, because the truth is, Wrigley's Gum, Juicy Fruit, Spearmint, Double Mint, Big Red, and Wintergreen isn't just your nostalgic treat. It's a toolkit, a sensory decoding ring. Each flavor holds a key to understanding a different corner of the whiskey world. And if you chew the right one before your next pour, your palate will open up like a perfectly red-green at sunset. The origins of the chew. William Wrigley Jr. didn't start out selling gum. In 1891, he was hawking baking powder in Chicago, tossing in free sticks of chewing gum as a bonus. The gum quickly became more popular than the product it came with, proving that sometimes your bonus ends up being the real moneymaker. By 1893, Wrigley had launched Juicy Fruit and Spearmint, followed later by the Double Mint in 1914, Big Red 1975, and eventually Winter Fresh in the 90s. Each flavor was distinct, built on real sugar and natural oils long before artificial sweeteners became the bland default. Those early recipes were bold, straightforward, and memorable, just like a good whiskey. Why gum works. Here's the science. Gum delivers an intense burst of flavor in your olfactory system, the same system whiskey uses to reveal its character. Cigar smokers, you're going to love this. When you chew your gum, you activate retronasal smell, the aromas that travel up and back of your throat to your nose. That's the same pathway that we use in tasting whiskey. So when you chew gum, you're not just refreshing your breath, you're building flavor recognition. It's a crash course for your senses. Let's take a deeper look at each gum. Juicy Fruit, the Bourbon Banana Ball. If bourbon had a training flavor, it would be Juicy Fruit. The mysterious blend of banana, pineapple, and citrus mimics the fruity esters found in many bourbons. Those banana bread or candy notes you often pick up in Four Roses and Jack Daniels. The same compound, asomal acetate, also known as banana oil, Juicy Fruit teaches your brain to label sweetness correctly. Instead of saying sweet, you'll start to say banana, pineapple, or even orange peel. Next, we're going to jump over to Spearmint, Rye's Herbal Fade. Spearmint is calm, green, and softly sweet. It's also the perfect stand-in for the minty, herbal tones of a rye grain, which contributes to whiskey. Have you had a chance to try a Wheel Horse rye or a Wild Turkey rare breed? Chew a stick, then nose your rye. Suddenly, that spice becomes something more refined. You'll pick out mint, dill, and even some grassy freshness. Let's jump over to my favorite Wrigley's is the Double Mint. Menthol in the mash. Double Mint packs peppermint, and peppermint brings methanol, that crisp, cooling lift that wakes your senses. Straight ryes and high rye bourbons flash that same eucalyptus-like snap, and chewing double mint before primes your palate to catch it. Want to taste it clearly? Lost Whiskey Cask High Rye brings a bright, minty chill throughout the spice, while Catoctin Creek Cask Rye delivers a bold, peppermint-edged pop. Cool gum, cool rye, same rhythm, different stage. Now we're going to jump over to Big Red, the cinnamon sweet spot. Big Red showed up in 1975 and instantly nailed the perfect cinnamon balance, warm, spicy, sweet, but never punishing. That's exactly why it pairs so well with bourbon's spicier edge. High rye mash bills, toasted oak, and barrel char all push out natural cinnamon notes. And once you've had Big Red, those flavors leap out of every glass. Want to taste it for real? Try Elijah Craig Single Barrel for a warm, slow-building cinnamon glow, or Bullet Single Barrel for a sharper high rye cinnamon snap. It's the simplest bridge between gum and glass. Cinnamon done right. Wintergreen, the aged rye signal. Wintergreen, or Wrigley's Winterfresh, delivers that birch and root beer candy aroma. Thanks to methyl salicylate, the same subtle note that shows up in some well-aged ryes. It's delicate and often mistaken for sweet mint, which is why a quick wintergreen reset trains your nose to call it out correctly as a sign of depth and barrel time. Want to taste it? Peerless Small Batch carries a soft wintergreen sweetness throughout its rye spice, while Old Forester 1920 tucks a faint birch candy edge under its rich heat. Once you notice it, you'll catch it every time. The secret sauce is real sugar. Here's where most people go wrong. Sugar-free gums, those that coat your tongue with polyols and fake sweetness that ruin your sense of taste. The original Wrigley sticks use sugar and corn syrup. They hit hard, fade fast, and leave a clean palate. It's like practice putting on real grass instead of carpet. Authenticity always trains better. So here's the final pour. Chewing gum won't replace whiskey, but it will sharpen how you taste it. Juicy fruit tunes your palate for bourbon's fruit esters. Spearmint and double mint sharpen your recognition of rye's herbal and methanol edges. Big Red shines a light on cinnamon spice. And wintergreen, that's your secret handshake with aged ryes. So before your next pour, grab a stick, chew, spit, rinse, and nose your whiskey. You'll taste more, you'll describe better, and you'll smile knowing that the best training tool was sitting in Grandpa's bag this whole time. Pull the pin, crack the cork, and maybe unwrap a stick while you're at it. Cheers, my friends. The inspiration from this came from a blind tasting we did a few weeks back. A friend knew that he was tasting a rye, but couldn't name it. The flavor was there, just out of reach, frustrating, familiar. I handed him a stick of double mint. This was the whiskey I brought, so I came prepared. He chewed it, he nosed the glass again, and he said it. That's it. That's that mintiness I couldn't put my finger on. Those are the moments I love. Flavor isn't about sounding smart. It's about a reference point. Once the brain has a label, it can relax. And suddenly, tasting feels less like a test and more like a belonging. To get more cool tricks like this, make sure you become a member inside of GolfCask. Because GolfCask isn't just content, it's a nation. At GolfCask.com, we learn, meet, and compare year-round through golf, whiskey, cigars, and shared experiences. Carve out time this year to spark, sip, and swing, and do it with people who get it. One of the most common questions newer cigar smokers ask is also the quietest one. How do I light a cigar in public without looking like a fool? This story answers that without judgment. The art of the toast, perfecting the light. Learn the leaf, love the ritual. Lighting a cigar isn't about setting it on fire. It's about respect. You're not burning the leaf, you're waking it up. Most beginners rush to the moment. They flick their lighter, jam the flame straight into the foot, and puff like a freight train. The cigar burns, sure, but it doesn't burn right. The intermediate smoker learns something deeper, the art of the toast. All right, now it's time to spark a stick. The spark of patience. Think of it like your pre-shot routine before a big putt. You're not just trying to sink it, you're trying to find that rhythm. Lighting a cigar works the same way. Hold the cigar just above the flame, about a half an inch away. Don't touch the fire to the leaf. Let the heat kiss it. Rotate slowly, evenly. You're not torching, you're toasting. Watch the foot darken, the edges curl, a soft orange glow forms. That's the cigar warming, loosening, waking. It's saying, all right, I'm ready. This is where the magic lives, in restraint. Rushing the light is like stabbing a 5-footer. You might make it, but it feels all wrong. Take your time. You're laying the foundation for the entire round. The moment of connection. Once the foot is evenly toasted, now, and only now, bring it to your lips. Draw gently as you rotate again. You're aiming for an even cherry. No flare-ups, no dim spots, just a steady ember glowing with confidence. When it's right, you'll know. It looks balanced, composed, like a smooth takeaway on the first tee. Here's where many go wrong. They overheat the cigar during the first light. Too hot, and they scorch the sugars unevenly. The result? Sharp, bitter, harsh. Too cool? You start getting tunneling. A core burn racing ahead of the wrapper. The goal is slow, even caramelization. Think of it like warming a pour of whiskey in your hands, coaxing the character out before the experience begins. The pause before the pour. Now stop. Don't puff yet. Just look at it. Watch the first ribbon of blue smoke rise and curl. Smell it. That's not just tobacco. That's craftsmanship coming to life. Years of soil, harvest, fermentation, meeting this exact moment. This is your pause point. The breath before the first swing. The heartbeat before the pour touches your lips. When you finally draw, it shouldn't feel like work. It should feel like a connection. Smooth, even, effortless. The flavor will tell you if you did it right. Balanced burn, layered complexity, no bitterness. That's a fine light. You'll taste with intention. The lesson in the flame. That's the thing about the toast. It teaches patience, presence, and rhythm. The same virtues golf demands. Whiskey rewards and cigars reveal. You can tell a lot about somebody how they light their cigar. Are they rushing to smoke or savoring the start? The flame, my friend, is the mirror. Every cigar, like every round, begins with the same act. The difference is how you approach it, with impatience or with respect. So next time, take your time. Hold the flame like a handshake, not a hammer. Let the leaf respond. Let the smoke roll upward. Let rhythm find you. Because when you do, the first puff won't be a draw. It'll be a declaration. I'm here, I'm present, and I'm ready. The finish. In the art of the toast, you're not lighting tobacco, you're lighting time itself. So make sure you light slow, burn even, and remember, like a smooth swing or a well-aged whiskey, the best moments are never rushed. This article came into existence because too many good cigars are being rushed, torched, and crushed, and it breaks my heart. This is by far the number one question I get from the newbies inside the cigar world, so take the time to light your stick correctly and enjoy the craftsmanship. Because you have to remember, the toast isn't about the fire, it's about restraint. The same way a pre-shot routine isn't about swing, but it's about settling in for the round. Confidence doesn't announce itself, it shows up, calm and ready. Speaking about calm and ready, let me introduce you to Eddie K. If you're buying, selling, or leasing residential or commercial property, make sure that you look up Four Corners Real Estate inside the Charlottesville area and all of Central Virginia. Eddie lives our GolfCask ethos. You've seen him in our videos, meetups, and events throughout the year. Work with Eddie. He keeps the whiskey flowing and the cigars lit inside the whiskey lounge. If you're looking to move closer to the central hub of GolfCask in Central Virginia, reach out to Eddie K. online at Four Corners Real Estate in Charlottesville. We look forward to all of those that are moving to Central Virginia. Cheers, my friends. You know, real estate and golf have something in common. It's the one house that you can't live without. Or, inside of golf, the one shot, the one swing, the one glimpse of what could be. That one shot, the moment every golfer chases. Every golfer is one swing away from falling in love all over again. Ask any golfer why they keep coming back, and you usually get the same answer, told 100 different ways, because of that one shot. The one that flew straighter, felt softer, sounded cleaner, or rolled truer than anything that came before it. The one that seemed to freeze time, where the strike, the sound, the sight of the ball all synced in a way that made you forget every shank, chunk, and slice you ever hit that day. That one shot is the great mystery of golf, the invisible hook that grabs every player, from the 36 handicap beginner to the world's best. It's the moment where the game goes from frustrating pastime to a lifelong obsession. The surprise of perfection. The funny part is, it never happens when you expect it. You might be halfway through a round, already thinking about lunch, and suddenly, click, the ball leaves the face like it's been waiting all day to show you what's possible. For a split second, everything feels effortless. Your body, your club, your breath, even the air around you, all in rhythm. The sound is unmistakable, clean, soft, compressed, a sound that is felt more than it is heard. You watch the ball trace its arc against the sky, not curving away, not falling short, just gliding towards your target. When it lands, you stand there in quiet disbelief, almost afraid to move. That's not luck. That's a glimpse of what golf could be. Why that moment matters. In other sports, success is repeatable. You can shoot free throws, take batting practice, or run laps and expect predictable improvement. Golf doesn't play by those rules. Here, progress hides behind patience. You can do everything right and still watch the ball misbehave. That's why that one shot feels so magical. It's proof that all the effort, frustration, and faith mean something. It's the rare moment when the game nods back and says, "See, you're getting it." And then, of course, it takes it away again. Golf has a way of giving us enough brilliance to keep us humble and hopeful. Every golfer has their moment. Ask around. Every golfer can describe that one shot, like it happened yesterday. It might be a beginner's first pure 7-iron, struck so clean that it felt like nothing, or the mid-handicapper's miraculous par save from the trees, or the veteran's 40-foot putt that dropped like destiny. The details will vary, but the emotion doesn't. That surge of satisfaction, disbelief, and joy, it's universal. For a brief moment, you don't just play golf, you understand it. Let's look closer at the science of feel. What makes this shot feel so different? It's not luck, it's physics and feel combining at just the right time. When you strike the ball in the center of the club face, with the right angle, the energy transfers perfectly, the ball compresses, rebounds, and flies with true intent. But it's also an emotional science. That instant release of dopamine, the brain's reward chemical, it creates a memory tied to that sensation. The sound, the vibration, the flight. That's why you remember it so vividly and why you crave it again. Golf's addiction isn't built on results. It's built on sensations. Chasing the feeling. Here's where the game hooks you. You can't force the shot to happen. The harder you try, the farther away it gets. You can only allow it by slowing down, staying present, and trusting your motion. That's why golf mirrors life so beautifully. The best things don't happen when you grip it tighter. They happen when you let go. So you keep chasing, bucket after bucket, round after round, not out of frustration, but out of faith. You know the feeling exists. You've lived it, and you know it'll happen again. Someday, soon. The gift of that one shot. That single shot changes how you see everything else. Suddenly, the bad holes feel less tragic. The chunk wedge becomes a lesson, not a failure. The walk between shots feel lighter. That one shot doesn't just make you a believer, it makes you a golfer. You stop chasing perfect swings and start chasing consistency of spirit. You realize the game's not about numbers, it's about connection to the ball, to the course, and of course yourself. Every golfer you meet is chasing their next version of it. It's what bonds us across handicaps, generations, and time zones. We all know what that feeling means, the glimpse of greatness that keeps us coming back for more. The takeaway for the one shot. Golf's beauty isn't that it rewards perfection. It's that it forgives imperfections just long enough to make you fall in love all over again. That one shot is the game's way of saying, keep going. It doesn't care about your scorecard or your brand of clubs. It just wants you to stay curious, to keep showing up, to keep swinging, and keep believing. And here's the best part. The longer you play, the more those moments appear. They come in clusters. A pure drive, a crisp chip, a long putt that dies in the center of the cup, birdie. Each one reminds you that progress is happening, even if it's slow. Because, in the end, golf doesn't measure improvement in strokes. It measures in smiles, heartbeats, and fleeting flashes of mastery. So keep chasing that one shot, not to master the game, but to experience a joy that makes it worth playing. Golf's greatest secret is that we all play for the same reason, not for the perfect round, but for that one perfect moment. This story was written for the golfer who thinks they don't belong. The one pure strike isn't luck, it's proof. Proof that there's more in there than a scorecard shows. Golf doesn't reward perfection, it rewards patience. That moment is the game asking you to stay. I'll never forget 1994, 5-wood, par 5, striped, second shot. Thought I hit it on or near the green, walked up to the green, can't find the ball, look around the fringe, the rough, can't find it. Playing partner says, hey, check out the hole. I look in the hole, and there it was. Double eagle. 4th round ever played. Only made one more in the last 30 years. But I'll never forget that day, that moment, that feeling, that connection to golf. I was hooked then and continue my search for that feeling of the double eagle. And that search has helped with GolfCask Life magazine, our quarterly deep dive into golf, whiskey, and cigars. and of course some adventure. We bring together some of the most knowledgeable storytellers in the space, people who live it, love it, and share it. What they offer is not just content, it's a keepsake and a way to elevate your passions. So let the golf contributors help you reach that one shot, that euphoria, that bliss. And now to our next fun article, which is community and adventure combined, a ritual inside a golf cask. Some traditions don't need to announce themselves because there are no goodbyes, only until next time. Rule: leave quietly, return surely. The GolfCask Goodbye isn't really a goodbye at all. It's a nod, a glance, a soft close to the night. No fanfare, no final toast. When the pour is done and the moment feels complete, you simply set down your glass, tap it once, and make your way out. No need for words because everyone in the circle knows the truth. There are no goodbyes here, just until next time. It's a ritual of respect, a sign of belonging. You don't announce your exit. You leave the spirit of it behind. Very few know this ritual. Fewer live them. So the next time you're at a GolfCask meetup and it's time to go, stand up, tap your glass, and walk out. We understand. Speaking of rituals, I want to talk about the Syndicate Christmas Pour, a tradition worth passing on and continuing. There's something about December that makes a whiskey taste a little richer and a good deed feel a little heavier. In the best of ways. Maybe it's cold outside, maybe it's Christmas lights trying their best to make the world look a little softer. Or maybe it's just the perfect time to remember that the Syndicate has always been about good people, good spirits, and giving a damn when it counts. This year, the Syndicate Christmas Party isn't just another night of steak, pours, and questionable storytelling. We decided collectively, stubbornly, proudly, to make one small corner of someone's world a little bit easier. So we sent Eddie. Every good story starts, so we sent Eddie. His mission: find a waiter or waitress who had a tough year but hasn't stopped showing up, working hard and trying to get ahead. Eddie tapped into his network, worked his business connections, asked around, and, in true form, came back with someone deserving of a hand up, not a handout. This Monday, the Syndicate will gather. We'll sit down with a meal together, raise glasses filled with something worthy of the moment, tell lies, truths, and enjoy the simple pleasure of community. And when the bill hits the table, we pay it. We tip the busser and the hostess like royalty. And every member leaves $100 for our server. A quiet nod that the world does, in fact, see them trying. It's not about the amount, it's about the intention. Life has been good to me, my family, and this Syndicate. We're fortunate, not because everything is perfect, because we have each other, a place at the table, and the ability to help someone who could use a softer landing this season. I'm not writing this to brag. If anything, I'm writing it to challenge every Syndicate member and every GolfCask follower to do the same thing this year. Your group doesn't have to be 22 strong. It can be 2 friends and your favorite watering hole, and leaving a single envelope for the bartender. It can be a foursome after a round, leaving a tip for the cart guy at the club. It could be one person paying attention to his local cigar shop worker. This holiday season isn't about the grand gestures. It's about noticing the people who hustle, who struggle, who push forward anyway, and deciding to make their winter a little bit warmer. So if you join us on this mission this Christmas and New Year's, send us a photo. Nothing staged, nothing dramatic. Just of your group, your moment, your version of kindness, done GolfCask style. Let's make this tradition worth passing around. Let's make someone's holiday a little bit sweeter. And let's show that the Syndicate isn't just a whiskey club, it's a community that acts. Merry Christmas to all, and to all good night. Unless you're pouring one more, then we'll call it a nightcap. This is GolfCask at its core. Community isn't a slogan, it's an action. A hand up when someone needs it. We've all been there, and if we're honest, we could all be there again. GolfCask exists to help people grow, whether that's learning a new hobby, stepping up their whiskey game, or chasing a personal best. If you got a few friends you teed up with, share a spark with, or enjoy a good pour alongside, you can start your own Greens and Grain chapter. Reach out to the GolfCask team to learn more. All right, let's wrap this puppy up and head over to the 19th hole. When you look at these stories together, a pattern emerges. None of them are about being the best. They're about being present. Noticing flavor, taking time, trusting the process, showing up for others, knowing when to stay and when to slide out quietly, confidently. There will be a next time. That's what December gives us if we let it. And we, the GolfCask team, are giving you something new. Next Monday, we roll out a brand new original series called Legends. These are the people, places, and things that shaped our passions through heroic level actions. The kind that don't ask for permission. We're kicking it off by jumping across the pond to explore the toughest golf club in history. No gimmicks, no nostalgia goggles, just true grit. Carve out 15 minutes next Monday. Watch us on YouTube or listen right here. Some legends whisper, this one growls. So here's the final pour to the month of December, our toast. To the quiet wins, to the moments that stayed, and to carrying them forward. Cheers to GolfCask Nation. Spark, sip, swing inside a golf cask. Please share this with friends and family. We're always trying to grow. Subscribe inside of YouTube, and of course, become a member of the nation at golfcast.com. Cheers. Until next time.